Hello everyone, I am happy to be back with Layering Gone Wild. Surprisingly for this layout, I will use one sheet of background cardstock from Magic Camera's Details to Enjoy and a journaling card from Bow Bunny. My plan is to use as much of my embellishments that I keep tossing into a dish instead of putting away, so I'll see what I can put on this layout. I needed black and white cardstock for the background. I didn't have any, but I did have this box from Felicity Jane that came with a bunch of goodies. I'll try using that for my background along with this camera cardstock. So let's see what happens. I'm trimming down the box to 12 by 12 because that's what I scrapbook in, and I only need a little bit of the black and white stripes to show. But this is a great background for this particular layout because it's cardboard, it's nice and sturdy, and I plan on putting a lot of embellishments on top of it so to hold it really well. I collect all sorts of stuff that I think I might be able to use on a layout even if I don't have a layout in mind. So I held on to this Sephora bag thinking one day I might be able to put it in a layout because it's so cute. And today is that day. I'm using that and some of the tissue paper that was inside of the Felicity Jane and tissue paper that I've collected from I don't know where. Anyway, I'm cutting out the knot that they use to tie the bag together. I want to keep the little cords and keep the bag really intact, but if I leave the knots on there, it's going to pop up too much and it'll be too big to fit behind my protective pages that I'll put it in. And I do want it to go inside the scrapbook behind the protective page. And whenever I use something other than a standard 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock for my background, I always measure it first to see if it's going to fit into my protective sleeve. So I took the cardboard and I put it in just to make sure. I did have to trim it down a little bit more to make it fit. So for this Layering Gone Wild, I decided to really dig into my stash and pull out those things that have been laying around that I'm staring at to make space for whatever Santa brings me, but also just to use. And I do collect a lot of stuff, and I call it recycling, like wine bottle labels and corks that I slice and dice, and the trim around the wine bottles, the gold that ends up in the corners of this layout, it's from a wine bottle. Buttons, and then it's all the embellishments that I don't toss or I don't use from other layouts. I keep putting them in a dish so I get to recycle them and hopefully use them someplace else. I just can't part with them. And when I say I collect everything, I'm not joking. If I go to a restaurant and we happen to take pictures and I know I'm going to scrapbook those photos, I might take the chopsticks or a copy of the menu or something that I might be able to incorporate into the layout. If I go to the Science Center, I'm going to definitely grab something from there, or even a drive. If I drive from Maryland to New York, there's all sorts of things I can collect along the way. And even if I'm just hanging out with my husband or my daughter or friends, I'm always looking for something that I can take with me to use as an embellishment or in a layout if I'm going to scrapbook those photos. And I usually know at that time, but I still take stuff anyway. Even if I'm not going to scrapbook the photos from that event, there's usually something that I don't know what it is with me, but I'll see something that I like and I'll grab it and use it on a layout. It may not be for that particular event, but it will pop up somewhere. Anyway, so for this particular layout, all I want to do is kind of dig in these dishes, grab what I can, and throw it about on here. Not think too much about it, but to just really fill the page with whatever I can get rid of out of these two dishes. So about the photo, my husband took this photo of me some time ago, and when I saw it, I said, it looks like a mugshot, like I've been arrested for something, and truly I didn't do it if it were so. But so I had made a note on the back of it how, it wasn't me, it was one of my brothers. Because growing up, anytime something happened, my parents said, would come to me and ask me anything, I would say, wasn't me, it was one of my brothers. So the journaling for this is pretty much what I just said. Raphael took this picture of me. When I saw it, I said, I know I look guilty, but I didn't do it. Whatever it is, trust me, one of my brothers did it, which is what I grew up telling my parents. And they usually did it, I'm telling you. One of my four brothers, no matter what it was, they did it. Um, I was an angel. Anyway, back to the layout. So I'm tossing and throwing and putting all sorts of things down. And you can see the little gold trims. Those came off of a wine bottle. I've had those flip-flops forever. I keep trying to put them on a summer layout. It wasn't working. And I'm sticking them here. They're not moving. They're going to stay here. Whenever I think of layering, especially in these Layering Gone Wild series, I usually think of cardstock. Like, what can I do with cardstock? Or what can I do with paint and cardstock? But I really don't think much about what I can do with the embellishments as a way of layering and going a little wild here. And so when I thought about this particular layout and what I wanted to do with it, and I always think about my layouts before I do them. I'm not very good at just um, winging it. I do have to have a plan, or else I'll be forever. So for this layout, I knew I wanted the cardboard. I wanted that black and white stripe, and I really thought that more of it would show in the beginning because I was thinking, prison stripes, which I think are orange now, but I like the black and white. So I was going with that. And I chose the camera cardstock for one of the same reasons. It's black and white. And two, I really like the little red heart. I wanted that to show. And three, I have 3 photos of the exact same picture that I'm using here. And so, I don't know, having the camera and the shots kind of went together, I guess. I just didn't think in the beginning that I would truly cover up. I don't know why, but I didn't think I would cover up as much of the background as I did. But I knew with the cameras, at least some of them would show through, and you'd have an idea, or I'd have an idea of what that background paper was like. And I guess whatever I chose for the background of this, I was really thinking about the photo and what the photo met or stood for me. And I don't know if I always think that consciously when I'm choosing cardstock. Perhaps I do. I'll have to, make a note of that. But I think I do. I just don't talk about it maybe. But I really wanted a certain theme, I guess, going with this whole guilty look on my face. Anyway, but with my embellishments, I kind of lighten it up a little bit with the butterfly and a couple more hearts and, the little bird flying off into freedom, my typewriter. But I put things on there that I like. So it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the photo or the whole I look guilty kind of thing. It is far more about my getting rid of everything that's in these dishes, but hopefully it would look okay on the layout. So I guess it's a bit of an experiment, but I felt like I was kind of making a collage, like a collage of my scraps, but a collage of things that I like clocks and hearts and butterflies, arrows and birds and cameras, bikes and whatever is on here, just a multitude of things that I like. And I think in the end it turned out just fine. And I think I'll try it again because unfortunately, I do have a bunch of stuff still in the dishes, but down to 1 dish, which is pretty good for me. So I'm going to jump over to supersonic speed, whatever that looks like, until we get to the end because I am very much committed to this. And 1, 2, 3, let's go. I will slow it down in just a few seconds so that we can take a closer look and see exactly where the layout ended up. But I am liking how this is turning out. My glue gun came in very handy here. Just that some of my embellishments, the stickiness was worn off of them because I tried to use them so many times on other layouts. And I think I'll slow it down so we can take a closer look at it. Gotta have pearls. I mean, some kind of bling or something on here. And I decided to add in a title for this page. It's all relative. The black letters are from Tim Holtz, the white, Creative Memories. And I do like how this is turning out. I like the color splash from Heidi Swapp in the background. I'll have to try that again. I tried to go a little wild with it because I knew I would be putting or adding a lot of embellishments to the layout, and I really wanted some of the color splash to show through, and it does. Anyway, I am coming to an end here after I trim this off. I'm nitpicking here. But it has that little thing sticking out that I don't want to see. And here we are. What do you think? I like it. Yes, I do. I'm happy with it. A whole bag of goodies in there. Anyway, a closer look for you. I have some stills to follow. Do like, subscribe to me, and share. It's very easy to do. Yeah, like, subscribe, and share. And thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Happy scrapbooking, and I will see you next time.